Hello, Leo. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's see what the cards have in store for you. We're going to start off with the theme. Let's see what the theme is for Leo for the week. Leo. There it is. All right, we have loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Yeah, I am getting a sense of like feeling more connected. Like maybe it's a week that's just, full of social events. Like you're around a lot of people, you're networking a lot. Maybe you work at a job where you see people constantly, or you're having to interact with people constantly. Just this again, this feels like having to socialize and having to communicate, and then getting a sense of like interconnectedness, um, and realizing that you have support, or you have people to look to, people to talk to, people to connect with, right? Just getting an understanding of what it means to be okay with being alone and not feel the pang of loneliness. Now, I'm also getting a sense of understanding the connectedness between you and spirit, and then also feeling that connectedness with your team of light, your star family, your angels, your ancestors, whatever you want to call it, okay? And feeling like a really strong sense of foundation there, a really strong grounding energy where it makes you feel like you can take on the world, where you're safe, where you're supported, and you're secure, right? So I'm getting like an overall sense of not feeling loneliness. I know that's coming up as a theme, but I'm feeling like it's more like working through loneliness and healing loneliness and transmuting loneliness, not drowning in it, right? Like not feeling completely alone. Now, as someone who has my Leo moon and as an astrologer, I can tell you that Leo, no matter what you're watching this, if you're watching it because you have a Leo sun or Leo moon, Leo ascendant, Venus and Leo, whatever you're watching it for, right? Wherever you have Leo, you do tend to have, I don't want to say like an obsession. It's not an obsession, but it's an innate desire, okay, for being seen, being heard, being recognized, um, being valued, right? Leo, as the archetype, isn't a needy energy, but it is an archetype that seeks that reciprocated love, reciprocated effort, reciprocated attention. Okay. So if you have, let's say, if you have Venus in Leo, right, you're not only looking for that in a relationship, but you're also acting from that place. So, and it's not like a spoiled brat having a tantrum or anything. But if you do feel like you've been working, okay, I'm gonna take both of them. If you've been working hard and putting a lot of effort into a relationship, and it's not being reciprocated, it can hurt more than say an Aquarius or a Capricorn or something, right? It can just feel like, wow, I gave you my whole heart in that. I invested everything I had into that, and it's not even coming back. So my point is, loneliness makes sense with Leo. Okay, that's my point, because loneliness can be something that, as, again, the archetype of Leo can really work through on a soul evolutionary path. So anyway, money and family. Root and sacral chakra coming up as challenges. Belonging, community, culture, tribe, finances, power, generosity, and abundance. So again, that makes sense, right? Interconnectedness, networking, feeling like you have more support, especially with finances or having to do with what seems to be assets, resources, the material world. Okay. I feel like it's a challenge because, again, you're working through that. You're transmuting it. So I'm not saying that you don't feel lonely at all, or you feel like maybe there's somewhere where you're taking a path alone or having to do something alone or independently. But maybe this is coming up as a challenge because you have to take care of your family, right, financially, or literally. Maybe you have to physically take care of a loved one because they're going through a health crisis or something. But there is a sense of like feeling more at peace and more whole and more complete and more like, yeah, this is my tribe. These are my people, right? This is my family, whether it's blood or not. And working through that as a challenge, especially with power coming up as well, and the sacral chakra again. That's where that creativity sits. That's where that sensuality sits, the sexuality. So it's our expression of love and our expression of giving. And money is a tool of giving and receiving, right? That's all it really is. And I know that money rules the world, and it is. It's sad, but it does. And having to learn the balance of exchange with money can kind of lead to learning the exchange of everything else, right? Like, or just kind of having that go hand in hand is definitely a situation that somebody can put themselves in at any point in time. But definitely when it has to do with, again, taking care of your family or worrying about, is my family going to be okay? Am I going to be able to continue to provide for them? This does feel like a provider energy, having to protect, maybe a queen or king archetype, especially king, or even father archetype that we're working through this week. But yeah, so look at your tribe, look at the people that you connect with on a daily basis. Do you feel supported there? Do you feel like you can trust in them, like you can rely on them, and vice versa, right? And again, especially also the relationship that you might have with money, right? With finances, assets. Do you feel alone in that sense? Do you feel like you have to do things independently all the time? Or do you feel like you have support elsewhere? Let's see. Yeah, okay. 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. There's the money. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it is definitely a week of finances, career, financial spending and receiving, right? The exchange of finances. And I'm getting a sense of just, yeah, I mean, honestly, this does feel like maybe being separated from a job, or being laid off, having to quit, or having to take a break. Maybe you're having to take like an extended break, but you're not getting paid for it, and kind of like the money's a little bit tight for someone. Or I'm getting a sense of just worrying, like, is this the right plan? Do I have a plan in place? Worrying that you're missing out on a really good career move or a really good financial move, but just stressing because you have things to worry about, like your kids, like your home, like your lover, whatever it is that you take care of, your pets. Yeah, just worrying that you're making a mistake, or that you're going to regret the choices that you make. This is like stress over stability, stress over security. Well, this could also be like stress over, oh my God, what if the car breaks down? Or what if I do go through a health crisis? Who's going to take care of me? How am I going to take care of them? This is like just stressing and worrying about life, life. What are your choices? What are your options? What can you do? Do you have choices and options that are abundant, or do you have very limited choices and options in this situation? But the point is like, if you come up with a good solid plan A, B, and C, you know what I mean? And if you take things slow and you don't rush, and you're open to things, and you're not stubborn, then there are new doorways. This could also be like a don't reject. Well, needing to know when to and when not to reject offers, especially of the financial nature. Okay. It's interesting to see the loneliness. It might be that you feel more lonely at nighttime when, the thoughts start circulating more. You can't really get a good night's sleep because it's just weighing heavily on your mind. I think, again, it's like you're almost trying to make the right chess move, It's like you're trying to, you need to make a move that is required of the queen, but you're just a pawn right now. And I don't mean that like in a negative way, but what I mean to say is like you can only move forward when you need to move diagonally, or when you need to move in an L shape. You get what I'm saying? Like a knight would. So it's kind of stressing you out a little bit because you feel like you're limited in the things that you can do. You feel like something has come to a standstill. I'm going to clarify this, because it does seem like, it looks like something has come to a complete stop this week, or is going to come to a complete stop. This is like an immediate stop. It's not a slowdown of something. This is a situation where either you or a situation in your life is coming to a complete halt. Full stop. No like, anticipation period or preparation. That's what it is. It's like there's no preparation period. Hangman, I just, that's more on what I just said. Like something feels stuck. Something feels like it's at the point of just like it's not going anywhere. Maybe that's what's stressing you out. Maybe you have been planning. Maybe you've been trying over and over again and you've been doing A, B, and C, and it's not. So here's let's see, right? Because, yep. So I know it's annoying to hear this sometimes. I know that it's annoying to hear this sometimes, especially when you're dealing with real life problems, right? Yeah, it's definitely stressful. I keep using the word of stressful because that's what that Nine of Swords is for me right now. But if something isn't working right now, I'm telling you, it's the typical rejection is protection. Okay, it's just not your path, Leo. You're gonna have to keep waiting. You're gonna have to keep trying different things and maybe getting disappointed by different things until you find the right thing. It's like you're Goldilocks. Okay, some of the porridge is too hot and some of it's too cold, but you will find the right porridge. Some of the beds are too small, some of the beds are too big, but you will find the right size bed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to try your best this week to just do things that are gentle for you, that bring peace, that bring comfort, because you will get your wish fulfillment eventually. That's unfortunately what the cards are saying. Eventually. All right? Now, again, we're getting the message of independence, of freedom of self, freedom with self, doing something alone, taking a path alone. Your animalistic nature, like your raw, baseline nature, wants to just push, wants to just force, wants to brute force something, okay? Do not brute force anything. It is a time of patience, of understanding, of calm, of taking your time, of going slow, of peace, not chaos, okay? I know that it can also be easy to let the emotions get the best of you. That's what this is saying right here. And it can be easy to say, I give up. There's nothing I can do. Why is me, or why is me? Woe is me. Why is it always me? And it can feel like you could start to, look at the past. And the past could be yesterday, right? You could start to look at decisions that you made and been like, I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? What's wrong with me? I could have been there, or I could have handled that differently. It's just the coulda, woulda, shouldas. The coulda, woulda, shoulda start to get to you. So try not to emotionally invest in that. Start to realize that what's left in the past stays in the past. All right, Leo? I truly hope that this helped. If you want a personal reading with me, the website is in the description box. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.